Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to install your DC to DC Renogy charger inside your van or RV or whatever you're planning on installing it in. But today I'm going to do something different because I'm going to be using these devices plus a voltage sensing relay. Why, you might ask? Well, one, I don't want to turn the accessory on to the van and have it send power straight to the DC to DC charger, especially if you're listening to the radio. You don't want to drain your starter battery. Number two, if I just use the voltage sensing relay and I have plugged into shore power, or I'm using the generator to charge my van, if I'm long-term parking, I don't want the DC to DC charger to drain the charger battery or the starter battery. I'm going to use this and this to disable the Renogy charger. The other reason I'm hooking up a relay is so that in the future I can hook up LEDs, like a light bar on the roof or fog lights on the front. And when I turn the van off, everything gets turned off through the relay. I can take the power from the relay and send it to another relay, which flicks the light bar on. It's a little bit confusing, but it's pretty easy to use. You've got your black wire, which is your negative. You got your sensing wire, your old 12-volt wire. And then you take power from the battery, which is fused, and then you send it to something you want to power. That way, you're not putting a strain on your sensing wire, your sensor wire. So if you've got an LED bar and you want to turn it on, but you don't want to use this wire, you use a relay, because you can put 30 to 40 amps through these things without having to burn out your sensor wire. So that's why they're a little bit thicker. And the same goes for the opposite way. If you want to disable something by sending it power, turns off the circuit. And then when the power gets disabled, the circuit gets turned on. So it's kind of weird like that, but it works wonders. And it took me a while to figure out what I was going to do. It took me like a week to brainstorm how I was going to figure out how I was going to hook up my DC to DC charger. Like, I could just hook it up to an accessory wire and it's good to go. Now, I believe this orange wire is accessory, but when I plug it in, when I've got it wired up and I turn on the van, it blinks. And it's not supposed to blink, it's just supposed to stay solid red when it's on. And then when I turn it off, it gets turned off. So that doesn't make any sense. But regardless, I found one. It's this pink wire. I'm going to take a voltage meter and I'm going to test it out just to make sure that it is the correct voltage. And if it's 12 volts, then we can take that 12 volts, put it through the signal wire, and turn on our Renogy charger. So let's get started. Okay, now that I've tested this pink wire that I found with a voltmeter, it's reading 12 volts. That means the relay will switch on when it's powered by this pink wire, which is only on when the dishes is on. So perfect. That's what I was looking for. Now let's move on to the next step. We're going to wire up the wire. We're going to run it down to our relay location, and we're going to hook up all the relays and hook it up and see how well it works.
I try to pray for you.
All right, let's see if everything I've done to make this work properly was actually worth it. So right now I've got a fuse plugged in, got my relays all wired up, got the VSR all wired up. The shore power is not plugged in. The starter charger is not plugged in. So that means the voltage shouldn't be raised when it's not plugged in, which is right. So now we're gonna turn the van on. Oh, I see that clicked on. Let's go grab my phone. Pull up the Victron app. Look at that, 28 amps straight into the battery. I purposely drained it just so that I could do a little stress test. You can see that. The van is putting out 14.9 volts, which is good. Now, if everything works correctly and I plug shore power in, it should disable. It worked. The Renogy should have a green light. Now if I disconnect it, boom! Look at that. I feel a little overexposed. There we go. So it works. That took a couple hours, but we managed to get it to work. So basically, when the shore power is plugged in, it sends a signal to the relay, which disconnects the relay that tells the VSR to turn off and on. So if the VSR doesn't receive power, the Renogy 60 amp DC to DC charger doesn't receive the signal to turn on. You see where I'm getting at? Now, it was kind of confusing to wire myself because I'm not a professional, but I mean, it's not hard to wrap your brain around a little bit of circuitry and a couple relays and things like that. I'm gonna include the diagram in my video so that you guys can see it and copy it and hopefully take a screenshot so that you can replicate what I've done in my van. That was a lot of figuring out and planning out and using 2 relays and a VSR and having them all wired correctly so they actually receive power. And not receive power, amazing, works. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Hopefully tomorrow we'll actually get something like, you know, some other work done in the van. I don't know what I want to do, but I'm crossing things off the list. Please leave a comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to my channel. Remember to hit the bell notification icon. We'll see you guys later. Peace.